pain. I had a really hard night last night because my left hip was really tight and causing me pain down my leg. So I wanted to go over what I would do to roll out my legs and my hips so that it helps stop that pain. So I'm going to start with a hard ball, a 2.2 inch or 2 inch. And I'm going to set it right in the outer edge of my left hip socket. My left knee is bent and dropping down to the floor, and I'm just rolling along any tight muscle that I find in my glute, and then I'm going to the outer hip joint and then back into the center of my glute. And so what that would look like from the side would be that my knee is dropping open and the ball is going around the muscles of that hip. And then I'm going to take it closer in towards my spine and then back into the center of the glute. And then I'm going to roll onto my left side, placing that ball right into the center of my muscles of the outer hip and roll along there, which is pretty sensitive. Down into the attachment where my leg bone is, and I'm finding a really tight spot where my piriformis goes into that outer hip, so I'm rolling on that. Just finding whatever spot is tight and then really settling into that muscle. Good. And then I'm going to roll over, going into the outer muscles of the medius, the outer medius attachment, going right up along the top of the pelvis. Good. And then I'm going to flip over. I'm going to take that ball into my IT band and find where that lump is in there, because I know there is one. And then just settling into rolling out that lump. But as you can see, I'm moving through all of this pretty quickly. Good, really leaning into the tight spots, trying to breathe through my nose. Trying to stay relaxed, even though it hurts. Good. And now I'm going to go into my outer quad, so rolling forward a little bit and then rolling along that outer quad, rolling onto the center quad, up and down, and then from side to side doing lateral rolls. Good. And then I'm going to check out my calf to see if maybe my calf is part of the problem. And sure enough, that outer calf muscle is really tight. So I'm going to go laterally along that ball, and then I'm going to take my other leg and push down into the tight spot. Good, 2 more breaths, pushing as hard as I can. Good, and then I'm going to use my really loud theragun. I'm going to go back into that calf. Good, and then I'm going to go up into my outer quad. And then up into my glute and my medius. And then up into my front of the quad. And then because I know my psoas is really tight, I'm going to use my psoas releaser. I'm going to roll onto it. I'm going to take it down into my hip bones and try to relax my hips down, and then relax my chest down. And then just breathe, pushing my breath into my belly, pushing into that psoas contraption. And then when I'm exhaling, I'm relaxing. And I'm going to lift up into a sphinx pose, pushing down into my belly and move my hips from side to side. And I'm slowly gonna move that blue releaser up higher into my stomach, just a little bit higher. And then I'm gonna relax my chest back down. And then breathe deeply so that you're pushing your belly into that so right thing. And then move it up into your obliques along the sides of your stomach. We're gonna start in our Sphinx pose. And then move your body from side to side, leaning into each of those blue things. If you don't have this blue thing, another thing that works is the handle of a kettlebell. But just remember, do not place anything at the center of your stomach. So if you place your hand over your belly button, that whole strip, do not roll that out. Only roll out the sides. And this is what I used. And again, you could use a kettlebell handle, just doing one side at a time. And so now I'm going to stand up and just see, did that make me feel better? Can I take my weight into my left leg? Yes, I can. Can I hinge forward? Yes, I can. Can I bend? Yes, I can. So I'm 3.5 weeks out from a hip replacement on this left side. And this is how I'm managing my pain, is that I come to my rollers and my ball and my psoas release just to get everything around my hip, muscular-wise, to relax. And it always helps.